Alrighty, welcome back to the Silver Lantern Archives. Today we are continuing on with the Echo of Ancients. Does anybody want to remind us of what happened last time and why the party's in trouble this time?
I don't think we're in trouble. I think the last time what happened is we got into a sparring match with a little goblin. She is a goblin, right?
Yeah, Snips is indeed a goblin.
A little goblin named Snips who just kicked our asses all over the place alongside the whole phalanx of kobolds. And by phalanx, I do mean phalanx. They were joining shields, going to full Roman. Yeah. It wasn't all that fun for us, but we got some good funny experience out of it.
You also
But
claimed victory.
yeah, did we claim victory?
Yeah, you'll
I
win.
thought
You know, we won.
I don't know why I remember losing. Or maybe I'm thinking of something else. But yeah, okay,
We
so yeah, we
won, but
won.
we really got our butts kicked.
Yeah, it was a hard won victory.
That I can agree to.
And then but that's pretty much all we did last session because because it took us the entire session to beat these guys.
Fair.
And then we took a long, a well-deserved rest.
Then
We did
returned.
also.
Go ahead.
I don't think we RP'd it, but I do know that a lot of us, minus Elise, did go to the storytelling at the end.
Correct. I don't think Zeke went either. Correct me on that,
Fair.
Ezekiel?
I only remember us having one storytelling that was before this fight.
It's been a day in between. There was a storytelling. Did you go to it?
Okay, then Zeke did go. He just didn't share any stories.
Okay, cool. So yet again, y'all have reperked the touch of Mhalduun or Mhalduun. Those that spoke get the full perk, and those that didn't, don't. They get the half perk.
I am a dumbass. I'm sorry. In this instance, if they were going back for a second time, Zeke would have stayed back this time. I apologize. Didn't realize that's what you were asking.
Yes, that's what I thought. So Ezekiel and Elise do not get the benefits of the touch of Mhalduun, but the rest of the party does.
Noman would probably get the full thing because he would have told a story of his time learning at his bard college.
Yes, everybody that went, I believe, did, because Chiron and
Yeah.
Farley usually do. But that brings us to the next day. It's about midday, and y'all have returned to the sparring pits. What would the party like to do? You can see only two individuals here waiting this time in the form of Snips and Eliath. They seem to be having a conversation as you walk into the room.
Between Elias and Snips.
Yes, the conversation is going on between the pair of them.
Okay. Chiron's gonna approach. Morning.
On the morrow, welcome back. You ready to be going on your adventure?
There we are. How about you guys?
Unfortunately, I will be remaining behind. I have much to do here and making sure my men are ready for the fights that are to come. But Snips is graciously decided if you wish her assistance, she will go along as well. You see Snips give a happy wave. You see,
always use an extra hand.
Instead of the armor she was wearing the day before, she's not even really wearing armor at the moment. It's just a simple tunic, which is surrounded by a tool belt with simple baggy pants and shoes. You also see she has most of her hair pulled back under a cloth and has got goggles on her forehead.
Chiron's gonna tilt their head to the side and go, curious, what do the goggles do?
There for when things blow up. Helps things not stab me in the eye.
Fair enough. Looks at Zeke. We should probably get goggles with how often Farley blows things up.
Yeah, I'd rather like to keep my eyesight if possible.
For pity's sake, you miscalculate a couple explosions and everyone assumes you're gonna blow everyone up.
Farley,
Sure.
how many is a couple for you at this point? I must ask.
6.
I am pretty sure 6 is far more than a couple. I'm pretty sure that is 3 couples.
You need to work harder excluding
Potato,
things
tomato.
you hear from Snips.
Potato, tomato, or whatever the saying is.
Also, you're lowballing it. It's at least 10.
You're not a real experimenter till you've blown up 100 buildings. You need to step up your
Please
game,
don't give him
Farley.
any. Please don't give him
Buildings,
any
I've only
more
blown up, like-
ideas.
I've only blown up like 3 buildings.
Well, then you need to work harder.
Good to know. Someone get me a screwdriver.
No. Chiron's gonna go tackle Farley to the ground.
Chiron, I now feel like my life is in danger.
Elise, would you like to switch rooms?
No, I'm good.
I sure I'm pretty sure you would survive much better than I would.
Yes, but Farley might not.
That is a risk I am willing to take.
If you want, you can come sleep on the floor.
I'm gonna give Elise like a blank look. Like, do I look like the type to sleep on floors?
You
Then
hear
don't
from
complain.
behind Elise, woof woof, from Z.
And above table, no one knows this, but Zeke totally wasn't thinking. I wonder how that would. I was basically thinking I would like to do that, but we'll never tell us all.
How does Novin respond to that?
Quite frankly, he's a little confused because why the hell is Z saying woof woof?
Fair enough.
Like
Oh, that just flew right over your head.
Yeah.
very much so. If our game flew over my head. It's like, wait, what?
You're being compared to a dog that sleeps on the floor. Woof woof.
Ah,
Anywho. Oh, Blue's doing a tippy type.
Who's doing it tight?
No, he stopped.
Okay.
No, never mind. I was gonna say in response to this question, I was gonna say, don't answer the trick question.
But what is the party going to do? You see, Eliath is simply waiting to lead you where you need it to go.
Come on, you lot, let's get going.
As you see these two start to walk out of the arena.
Nobody's just like scratching his head, like muttering woof woof.
As you are walking through, you see a fair few kobolds moving around on this side. You even see one of the hobgoblins leaning up against what looks like the exit to a hallway up to the north. But no one really interacts with y'all. You'll get a couple waves, those that have been in the storytelling things, as people recognize you. But you walk into another room close by where y'all initially were and see two massive holes in the ground. One of them looks like it is attached to a large bucket that seems to be going up and down, moving materials. And the other one seems to be a large elevating platform. You'll be going down on that. You'll be all safe, at least until you get down to the bottom. Once you get there, it's up to you to deal with the monsters that are moving around and staying safe. If we don't hear from you in 12 hours, we will be shutting down the elevator and you will have to stay down there overnight. So make sure you are back before that time. Understood?
Fair enough.
Zeke's going to lean down towards Chiron and whisper, "Can you tell time well?"
What do I look like, an amateur?
Right, you don't win me like that, Chiron.
You get pat.
Now, I would also suggest, due to your larger sizes, split up into smaller groups. 2 or 3 at most, unless somebody is heavy. Understand?
I'll probably have to split with someone then.
Is that just on the elevator or throughout the entirety of the mines?
On the elevator.
Okay.
I'll go down with Elise. I'm small.
Do I get
Yes.
Farley babysitting duty then?
Yes, yes, you do.
Okay.
No one's gonna like go up to the railing and look down into the hole. How
It's
does
just
it look
black.
like it goes down real far? That is one deep dark hole.
Is it more than 120 feet?
Yes.
Ugh, it's farther than my sight can see it. I can see it pretty far.
You'll be descending about 800 feet.
Are there lights down there, or
Not in the section you will be in. We are usually mining in higher areas. These are for the deep mines. People don't often go down there too terribly often, but richer materials are down there.
Fair. Hopefully we can deal with the problem so that it's easier to get to.
Yes, at least until the next one shows up.
Fair enough.
no one's gonna? Nope. No one's just gonna like readjust the hood lantern he has on his belt, make sure it's securely fastened.
Yeah, Zeke's gonna follow that lead.
That being said, Snips is Snips a medium or small creature?
Small, they're goblin.
Okay, that's what I thought. So I assume that Z and Fiki are going together. Also, Fiki health needs to be reset.
Oops, you are correct.
We could probably send Fiki, Noman, and Z together,
Yeah.
and Zeke, Farley, and Snips, then the two of us.
You
Sounds like a
see
plan.
the pair of them step onto it. Fiki was already waiting on the elevator. Anybody else going down? You hear from Z.
Noman.
So obedient. You get patted on the shoulder. And then as the three of you step onto the elevator, you hear ka-choom, ka-choom, as Eliath grabs onto the great wheel and starts turning it slowly. And you feel the elevator shift under you and you start to descend into the dark. The only light given, a single lantern hung on the top of the elevator above your heads. And you begin to descend, foot by foot. It's a rather steady roll. And you see there are a number of different landing platforms as you continue to go down and down and down. The first couple, maybe 3 layers, have kobolds running around on them, moving carts, things like that. But they don't stop. You see maybe one that stops to watch you go by, but the rest of them they're on the move doing their own things. Noman, do you have anything to say to Fiki and Z? Fiki is standing effectively at attention, reminding you of guards as her spear is slung over her shoulder and she is keeping an eye out. Z, on the other hand, is double checking her quiver of bolts. So you have a crossbow, yeah? Yeah, they have a crossbow. Quiver of bolts, making sure they pull out easy. You can see they're situating a couple of vials of poison on their belt, ready to use.
Seeing that they're preparing for battle, no one will draw his rapier, making sure the blade is straight and true. He's gonna clear his throat a couple of times just in case he needs to do a little singing down there.
Okay.
Out of curiosity, why did we not send these down first?
That's easy. Fiki and Elise would have overturned the elevator.
Fair point. Fair point.
Better to have your short ass down here.
Aren't I taller than both of them?
You're taller than Z, I believe. I don't remember if you're taller than Fiki.
I am standing pretty. I think my elf stands pretty at about 6'5".
Then I think you're taller than both of them. It doesn't change what she said, though.
Shorter. You know I know that I can change my shape my size to be about as short as Snips, but I think I'm taller than both of you, aren't I not? And nobody like does the whole hand on top of the head checking. Yep, I'm taller than both of you right
Yeah.
now.
And you're the one compensating.
I think they're saying as a person you are small.
Do note Farley himself is not down there. They're on the elevator. There's only the three of them.
Oh yeah, no, this is out of character. This is out of character.
Z sticks her tongue out at you, and do you make any attempt to lunge it or anything?
No, Noman does. No, have you ever seen like someone like pull down the eyelid of their eye and stick their tongue out at someone?
Yeah.
No one does that when they stick their tongue at me.
The moment you do, you see her finger move very quickly and plop something on the tip of your tongue and push it back into your mouth and close your jaw. I need a con save.
Of course.
4. Noman, that is the spiciest whatever she just put in your mouth you have ever tasted. You feel like there is steam coming out of your ears.
Haha. Noman likes spicy things.
This is beyond what you were ready for. You feel like a hole is burning in your tongue.
Oh, you talking pure capsicum?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, Noman's eyes widens like hot. And grabs his water skin and starts chugging,
It
like
gets
swishing
worse.
it around.
And you start to hear the sound of a whistle, a very high-pitched one.
I look around trying to see where the sound is coming from.
It seems to be coming from everywhere. And then you see Z pull out a mirror out of one of her belt pouches and hold it up for you.
I look in it.
You see your face has turned brighter red than Fiki's hair, and there was literal steam coming out of your ears.
What is the 7 headed was that?
Oh, just a little thing I picked up.
You are mean.
Oh, it's not that bad. Wait for the second round. And at that point, Noman, it switches from incredibly overbearingly spicy to very sweet. Not overly sweet, but a beautiful chocolatey taste.
Ooh.
Your entire mouth is tingling and almost feels like it's on fire at this point. But all it's really managed to do is make your mouth very sensitive, so you can really taste the chocolate and the sweet.
That's actually quite nice.
Told you.
You have more of those?
Yeah, but I gotta ration them. He keeps trying to steal them from me because she likes them. It's at that point you see the elevator stops moving down, and both Fiki and Z step off. Well, Fiki steps off, Z kind of hops off, dropping the last couple inches to the ground.
Gnome steps up behind them, holding his lantern up high to illuminate as much as possible.
You see what looks like abandoned area. There's some overturned mine carts and anything, some spilled stone spewing from them, but nothing really else. There's a couple tunnels leaving out as well, but all of them are pitch black. All that's here is two weakly sputtering lanterns. Doesn't look like they have a flame in them, but instead this kind of glowing blue rock. You hear ka-chung, 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 and then the elevator starts to go back up the shaft.
I have a character question. Speak with animals. Does that work on monsters as well?
Depends on if it's a beast or not.
Just in case, no one's going to turn to Fiki and Z. Would you don't mind keeping an eye on my back for like about 10 minutes while I cast a spell?
There's a nod from Fiki as she is standing sentinel. Z herself has moved off to the edges of the area and is taking a look around the floor. Some time later, the rest of the party sees the elevator has returned without your party members.
The way you said that made me think, oh shit, something bad just happened. Then I remembered that's what we're fucking doing.
Chiron's gonna look at Elise and go, "Us next."
We can go for the other three first. Numbers or add some more brawn.
Looks at Farley. We're going next.
I can agree with that.
All right, I was gonna ask, who would you rather be alone here with people we're trying to have good relationships with?
So Chiron and Elise are getting on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in reference to that, Chiron goes, "You're on Farley duty. You'll be fine."
You see Snips smile next to him.
I am not responsible for that one.
But choice be made or not, the elevator starts to descend with just the two of you standing on it, the light flickering weakly above. As the two of you begin to descend through the tunnels, level by level, you can feel the elevator gently swaying as you drop, descending deeper and deeper. Not enough where it's going to hit the edges, but enough where it's not fully steady. What did
Did we
Chiron's
ever ask if they're
gonna.
mining down here?
What was that, Elise?
Did we ever ask what they're mining down here?
No, we did not.
Hmm.
Guess we're about to find out, though.
Hopefully.
That being said, Chiron is going to put on, as we're descending, they're going to put on their gloves and they're going to pull up their hood. So Elise, at this point, you can't really even see any of the red of their skin as they are becoming one with the shadows. And Chiron is also keeping an eye. Their main goal at the moment is to see if necessary, they could scale up the mine shaft?
Not easily. You might be able to get through some levels, but getting onto the roof would be hard.
But not impossible in an emergency. Okay.
The easiest thing
For
to
a
do
long
would be
time.
step off onto one of the other levels.
More so as if we don't make it back in time. If something goes wrong, Chiron wants to make sure, is basically plotting okay, if I go here, here, and here, I can spider climb my happy little ass up this shaft and seek medical attention for somebody in an emergency.
Roll me a quick perception. As you're descending down, you're really getting a good look for the shaft, and you see the walls seem to be more solid than you would have expected. There's not a lot of cracks and crack to really grab onto, and you see they're almost shiny in the light. You wouldn't have noticed
Okay.
they didn't really started to look, and you're kind of thinking about it. You also remember, well, you weren't paying too much attention to it when you first were getting on the hole. When you started descended, they're pressed against the edges of the hole. There were great gates made of what looked like some kind of metal on the first 3 floors. You get the distinct feeling if you tried to crawl up it, you would run into these gates and have a lot of trouble getting higher after that.
Okay.
As there are a lot of creatures down here in the tunnels that likely climb like that, and it's a defense to keep them from surging into the city.
Which it makes a lot of sense. So last the worst case scenario, I'd probably have to ditch all my gear. But last case scenario, it wouldn't be easy, but if somebody's actively dying,
If somebody's actively dying, what?
if someone's actively dying and this is the only option, they'll try. I'm not saying that they'll succeed, but at least it's them trying.
Yeah. Effectively,
Better
what
to
it
have
would
tried
come
and
down to
failed.
Is once you get to that gate, you're not entirely sure you'd be able to open it. From that side, you might have to go wandering around on the tunnel floors you can get to and hope you can find a path back up.
Fair enough.
But anything else from the pair of you as you descend deeper and deeper into the dark? As you see less and less floors are lit up.
Do you have something in which you can use to see, Elise?
I've got the sword. That's about it. As
They'll
long as
nod.
I got a grip on that, I'll be able to see perfectly fine. And heck, we'll have some color.
Chiron will shrug at the color. Well, at the very least, maybe stand a little bit behind Fiki. I think their lantern goes farther out.
I'll probably be near the back anyway, covering the rear. Don't want to get ambushed.
Smart enough plan. Just try not to get jumped by something that you can't see.
Hopefully we'll be able to see things.
What was that?
Hopefully we'll be able to see some things. And not have them sneaking around invisibly in the night.
Chiron just looks at you and Rogue.
What? I'm familiar with how scouts work, but you can't see everything.
You're right, that's my point. As we descend further into the darkness with a party that I think, like, Out of the PCs, I think most of them don't have dark vision.
I think it's Farley and Chiron.
Yeah, we're the only two with dark vision.
I know Noman and Ezekiel can't, and Elise is human, so also can't.
Yeah.
But eventually, after a few minutes of descending into the dark, you find yourself landing at the platform, Fiki with her back to where y'all are, and Noman doing something on the ground. You don't see Z at first.
As I get off the platform, I'm scanning for Z.
Roll me perception. You don't see them.
Yeah, I kind of had a feeling.
But it's at this point, Noman, you do finish your casting. Just as Elise and Chiron are arriving on the field.
There we go. Just in case these monsters might be of the beast variety, might be a good idea to know to speak with them, or at least understand them. Could be tactical advantage.
Well, hopefully they're just dumb beasts and nothing too smart, and we'll be done with this within the 12 hours.
Yeah. Noman, doesn't that spell only last 10 minutes?
Yes, but how long do you think it will take for some beasts to come at us in the dark?
Just shrugs. Chiron's gonna slip into the shadows. Wait for the rest of our companions to get down here.
As you are waiting, you hear the elevator begin its long descent back up the dark tunnel. Elise, what are you up to? Now that Noman has finished his diabolical casting.
I think Elise is just going to keep watch near the group in case the other two miss something.
Okay. Noman, anything else you're doing now that you have the spell up?
No. Now no one is going. Gonna just follow the rest of the party. Assuming we're just gonna go through the tunnels.
No, we're not even. The rest of the party's still not down there. They're waiting for the rest.
Oh right, Zeke and Farley.
Yep. As the elevator is heading back up, it doesn't take too terribly long, Ezekiel and Farley, before you see the elevator once again return without your party members. Ready to step on? Snips is the first one.
Yeah, can I say that while they were going down that second time, Zeke just kind of walked up to this guy and goes, "So, do you have to like crank it and so it's your strength that's actually moving it up and down?"
Correct.
You are very strong indeed.
We go through a lot of training. We need to make sure we are in peak, to make sure our miners are safe.
I admire that. And then he's going to scurry over. Motherfucker. He's gonna. Eh. I'm sorry, that was an annoying noise that just came out of my mouth. Yeah, whenever it comes up, he's gonna scurry in there.
And Farley will join you as well, preparing to descend back into the hole. Yet again, you'll see the first 3 levels very protected and active, but after that, it becomes very dark.
Yeah, Zeke's going to turn on his lantern.
You see Snips is just relaxing. waiting for things, kind of rocking on her heels, which rocks the whole elevator just a little bit. Would you like to do anything as you are descending? Zeke.
As I sit here with my socially awkward being with high charisma, I feel like he would just pick up like small talk, like ask Snips, like, so how did you find yourself in this encampment?
Explosion.
Ah,
Oh,
were
village
you
burned
also?
down.
Oh, I see. Were you also unconscious when you were first brought here, like the rest of us?
No, I was flying through the air at high velocity.
Okay then.
The elders
Internal
decided
model.
that instead of letting them get a hold of our people, that we should take as many of them with us as we could. So we set off a bomb, and it went boom. And I was standing on something, and instead of getting the brunt of the explosion, the thing I was standing on took it, and I went meow. And I was flying at a decent speed, and then I had to figure out how to land, and then I went through a tunnel, and it was a lot.
Zeke is going to say in Elvish under his breath, not knowing if either of these two speak it, and just go, I'm going to have to scold Chiron for leaving me alone with two active pyromaniacs.
Oh, I'm not a pyromaniac. I like explosions, but I prefer magical explosions more. Less overall damage to the area, and still has the pack of punch for the targets you want. See, she rifles through her bag and hands you what looks like an ice cream cone.
He's going to reach out for it a little cautiously. That's the word I was looking for.
That's a cone charge. It only puts the explosion in the direction that you point it. It doesn't do a lot to structures and the like, but will do a lot to more biological structures like your stomach or something.
Zeke is going to turn to Farley and say in common, you will never say that I told you this in front of Chiron, but if you're going to mess with explosions, take notes. As they point to Snips.
I've also got the rune versions that target buildings, make the whole thing crumble. Could take down the whole mine shaft if I wanted to. I'd need a little bit of time and the right materials, but I could blow the whole thing up.
Also, I am posting Farley's responses in chat.
Fair.
So Farley is taking notes.
I feel like at this point Zeke will kind of stop asking questions, kind of fearing what the response will be.
You see they're still rocking on their feet, whistling. Have you ever been on an adventure like this?
I've been traveling along with Farley and Chiron for a few years, just doing different odds and ends. I can't recall if we've gone in a mine shaft before. Turns to Farley. Do you remember?
How long do you think of a fall you could survive? 100 feet? 200?
Well, I fell off of a fairly high plateau into a river, but of course I had a kind of a... The fact that you have a response to that, Farley, worries me.
Neither. Too much collateral damage. I prefer magical explosions. More easily contained. More effective. Gunpowder gives you a nice big boom, and sulfur, well, is used to make gunpowder and all that. But it's limited in how much collateral and how angry it's going to make people when you blow up their house. If instead you use a nice magical explosion, it's going to be clean, concise, and decimate whatever's inside, especially the disintegration ones.
in response to what is just now being added, but you do not need to learn Fireball, Farley. That is the last thing you need to learn.
Well, if you're dealing with ocean water, they're gonna have to account for that fire only goes so deep. So a nice disintegration will deal with the water as well, and then make a nice suctioning when it collapses in on itself, dragging anybody that survives down under. And then they're gonna, if you have a big enough detonation, it's going to drag them to the point where they can't breathe anymore, and they'll be unable to fight the rush of water heading down. So they'll get trapped down there and drowned.
I feel like at this point, Zeke's going to crouch down and just like hold his head in his hands and go, I didn't want to know all this information, but I can't make it stop.
Well, it depends on what your target is. Some are better for others. And it's at that point y'all reach the bottom and you can see Fiki, Noman, and Elise.
He's going to run out to and try and look for Chiron.
Chiron is doing the stealth.
Yeah, so perception, would that be with disadvantage, even though I have the lantern?
No, but if I'm honest, I don't think you have a chance. What's your perception?
My
No,
rolled perception, I have a
you
+3.
cannot beat them physically.
Damn it. Zeke's just going to go, next time you get to babysit Farley with the other pyro. Just into the void.
The void does not respond, but is mentally giggling.
During that entire time, Zeke was having too much of a mental breakdown because of the in-depth conversations going on between Snips and Farley that he has not taken out his rapier or his shield, so yeah.
But a lot of you have all managed to get down where y'all need to go. No one's entirely sure where Chiron and Z went, and the elevator starts to disappear back up.
Well, we're all in this big dark pit together. What's the plan going forwards? Now those two are off scouting.
Is Chiron scouting, or are they just being a little shit like they love to do so much?
Giving them the benefit of the doubt.
I am anticipating them to try and come up behind me and scare me like they do all of the time.
Chiron, where have you dipped off to? There are 3 exits to the area in which y'all are standing currently.
I'm going to go about 30 feet down each of them.
You see the first one you go down goes about 30 feet, and then about another 40 feet past that, you can see it looks like there was some kind of collapse as it seems to be completely filled with rubble.
Okay.
Down the second path, you find it looks like it branches off into 3 different paths after you find another room. And the last one, a little ways down, has a giant door made of stone. It is at this third door in which you find a Z.
I'll go up to Z. Find anything interesting?
Not of note. Well, other than the fact there's a door down here, I suppose. Not your usual wooden door you'd like to see in the mines. This looks like some kind of holding place, maybe for rare materials.
Possible.
But I also don't see any locking mechanisms, but I can't get the door to open. Feels like it's locked. It doesn't feel heavy enough to be just locked off weight and I can't push it. Might be wrong, but I'm not sure yet. Dwarven make, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe it's magic?
Almost undoubtedly, dwarves always have their own strange stone magic.
So, I guess the question is do we want to focus on this area specifically, or do we want to go down the middle path that has some offshoots?
And go talk to the others while I see if I can figure anything else about this door. If I can't figure anything out, well, we only have one option left.
Fair enough. Scream if you need me.
I think it's you that usually does the screaming, not me. She gives you a wink, but then turns back to the door, running her hands gently over the edges as she takes it all in.
As Chiron is scampering back, they do bare teeth into their back they're not going to bite them, but they do the biting motion like I will get you later. But they are going to stealth back from whence they came, and I am 100% about to go scare the shit out of Zeke.
Fair.
It's all because I gave you that idea, isn't it?
No, I was gonna do it no matter what.
Rolling another stealth check, Chiron.
Will do. First things first, we're gonna clean my glasses so that I can actually see.
That would be nice.
I don't understand how they get so smudged. I am just sitting here.
You know what I
Putting your
put my
fingers on them.
glasses to see? Oh, go ahead. All might.
I was just saying, quit putting your fingers on your glasses.
You have no hope of seeing that, so.
Yeah.
And Farley says this. As Farley asks that out loud.
Easy enough if you have the right mental triggers. It's more prone to blowing yourself up, though, as somebody else can get a hold of another trigger and send it off. It's easier just to be simple. Complicating it only brings in more problems than it solves.
Head explosion. That being said, when I get up there, I am quite literally I'm like skittering in the shadows on the wall, and I will just straight up hop onto Zeke's back.
The head crawlers have come for you. You feel one drop onto your back and grab you by the back of the neck. You know you only have seconds to live.
Yeah, Zeke is going to shriek very unmasculinely, and just honestly, I can't tell if he would run and just bonk against a wall or if he would just fall face first from jumping up and losing his footing. One of those, though. Let's go with the second one, the jumping up, losing his footing, and just falling on his face.
And knowing who Zeke is as a person, Chiron is basically they jump, grab a hold of their neck, and then just somersault off onto their feet next to him.
Chiron, when you come up, there is a spearhead right in front of your neck. It takes a second, but after a beat, Fiki recognizes you as you and doesn't run you through. The spear coming back up out of the way.
I'm going to make the assumption that the only reason that they did that is due to the fact that they're in a party with Z.
Yeah. It's more of they responded to the scream, reacted quickly, saw the target, and then registered what it is.
Yeah, so Chiron is just going to look at Fiki and just go, nice reflexes.
You never know what's down here. Best to be ready
Agreed.
when it comes.
Agreed. Z's currently looking at a door down that path and points to the path that Z is down. Door is locked with air quotes. They're trying to figure out if we can find a way through.
If they can
Like
figure
the
it out,
direction
we
we're
have a
going.
path, but is there any other paths?
Yeah.
That one, and Chiron points to the first one, has collapsed, so no. That one opens up into a bigger room and has 3 offshoots.
Elise, what were you saying?
Basically the same thing Fiki said.
Fair. Any suggestions on which one to take? Do you agree with C that it might be best to investigate the door? Or perhaps find one of the other paths?
Speaking that it's a giant stone door. If we can get through it, I'd say let's go through that way. But if it's going to be too cumbersome, might as well just go to the path so that we can actually go down.
There's a nod from Viki. Well, then let's go keep an eye on Z then. As you see, she hefts her spear over her shoulder again and starts to head in the way you prompted.
I'm gonna go help Zeke up.
Yeah, because Zeke was just laying there face down on the ground going, I'm going to end up back in this position anyway, so I'm just going to stay here.
No, you're not. Come on. We've got things to do.
Why
On your
do
feet.
Yeah, I'm going to step up as I above table lament why everything I say seems to sound sexual.
Come on. Come on, Farley. Put your explosive whatever you're working on away.
Noman, by this
Come.
time your spell has pretty much pittered out.
It didn't cost me a spell slot, so
Fair. Do you follow Fiki? What you doing?
I'm sticking close to the largest group of people.
Fair. Fiki and Snips have both headed off towards where they were told Z currently is.
And away we go.
So is the rest following them?
Yeah.
Once y'all get back over, y'all don't see Z anymore.
Do I see Fiki?
Fiki's like right next to you when y'all are walking up. Y'all catch up to her pretty easily. She's not moving fast.
Okay. Chiron is going to actively look for them.
Roll your perception.
I have a question.
I have an answer.
Is there a point in me rolling my perception? Because I too only have a +3.
Yes.
Okay. I figured that I would ask. Oh, come on, sheet. Don't fucking freeze on me now. Oh, who fell out?
Blue.
Blue's
Should
just
have been back
stepping
in a
away.
second. Yeah.
Okay.
Chiron, you do actually see Z after a little looking around. You didn't see them because they were up. You see them at the very tip top of the door, kind of spread between the two walls to keep them up as they are investigating the very tippy top of the arch of the door.
There. In that case, so that they're not up there by themselves, Chiron is going to put just kind of tap Fiki on the How tall is Fiki?
I think she's about 5'8", 5'6". Let me see. Not 5'6". She's 5'8", 5'10", somewhere, I think. Fiki. Yeah, I think she's.
Why was I thinking that Fiki was
5'10".
short?
No, she's decently tall for a woman.
Taller
Okay.
than Zeke, I think.
Mhm.
You said 5'10"?
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, yeah, I'm just going to pat their thigh because that's what I can reach, and point up so that they know where Z is.
They respond with a little more than a nod as they keep an eye on things before turning their back to the door to watch back the entryway in which y'all came through.
Yep. And then I'm going to just spider climb my happy ass up the wall so that they're not up there by themselves.
Do you take the wall or the door?
The wall.
Okay.
I don't want to touch the door just yet.
And while they're doing this, what's the rest of the party up to?
Lisa's doing the same as Fiki, but she's staying near the entrance to the tunnel.
Fair. So you're near the entrance, Fiki is near the party. What about Zeke and Noman? Y'all up to anything? As you see this great stone door before you now. Noman, you get the distinct gleam of little bits of gold lined into the door itself.
This is a nice looking door. Is that gold I see there?
You hear from Z high above, no, not high above, she's only about 15 feet up, a little bit above. Looks like gold, a little bit of mithril, silver. I think there's some adamantine in this as well.
All the precious metals.
Indeed. Whoever wanted to put this door in really didn't want somebody to go through.
My curiosity is piqued.
You hear from Snips as well. There's also a bunch of wards on there too. Pretty heavy ones. Somebody really didn't want somebody going through there. Or they didn't want something getting out. Definitely a dwarven make too. It takes a good 10 minutes of Z looking through this before they drop back down. I don't think I can get through that door. If we're going to want to get through it, we need to find another way.
Sounds more like we're going down the second hallway then.
You hear from Snips. Because the dwarves always dig too deep and find shit. It's at that point y'all hear Fiki beginning to move back towards Elise, going for the other tunnel. Well, ain't no time to waste. Ready? You hear from Z.
Let's go.
So the lot of you follow along, going back into the second, in which you find 3 branching. One of them is on the far left side of the room, while the other 2 go directly across from you, spreading out from there. There is no pathway that leads right. We want to
Well,
take a quick 5-minute break to let Blue and Zeke come back here in a second.
I mean, Blue's back, but
Oh, yes, cool.
Sorry, yeah, I've been back for a little bit.
Sorry, go ahead then. We're fine.
I was gonna say, pay attention to the thing because I'm putting in what Blue's saying. You responded to what Blue was saying.
Yeah, I just thought he had stepped. I got a message saying so. Either way, continuing on. What would y'all like to do?
Well, should we do this meticulously and just pick the closest one and go from there?
We're
No
likely to
reason
end
not.
up in a maze of mines down there if we do that.
And then what's your suggestion?
We look around, see if we can find anything. As he is going to approach the leftmost tunnel and start taking a look around.
Lisa's going to see if she can find any tracks of creatures. Avoiding kobold tracks if there is any.
Okay. Roll me a survival check. Elise,
Noted.
you start looking over. Where are you looking out of which tunnel?
Probably the central one.
Okay. You start looking through that, and you feel it feels like coming out of this one. You don't really see any tracks or anything, but you do feel an intense amount of heat. Rising up through the tunnel.
Rolling hot down this one.
What makes you say that? You hear from Z.
Currents of heat coming down the tunnel. Hotter than from behind us.
Chiron will go investigate at the mention of heat.
As you walk up to the
Deeper
entrance of
I
the tunnel, you can
thought.
also find it. The feel of the intense that seems to be rippling up from that way.
Fair enough. Should I go look down this one? I'm a bit more heat resistant than you lot.
You can, but I'm not finding any tracks or anything coming out of this tunnel. But it's hard to do on flat stone.
I don't think we want to split up. It's going to be too easy to get separated. You hear from Z.
Is anyone else adept at tracking, or should I check the rest of the tunnels in case I find something?
I'm relatively decent, but I don't see anything over on this one. It actually feels colder here.
Give the last one a check then.
At least as you're going over, you don't feel any extreme temperatures in this one. Seems pretty normal, but this one you do notice there's a little more moss on some of the rocks. But what was more interesting, where that moss is situated, you run your finger through the moss and you notice underneath has a very familiar rust-colored smear across the stone.
And I've hit iron. I've got blood here.
Sounds like we should go that way.
Either that or it's spelling our doom. But either way, I think it might be our best bet.
I mean, we're supposed to be fighting something, so better to follow the blood.
Indeed.
As you, that is the party continuing down that way, it sounds like. Any other arguments?
Nope.
And the party begins their trek, moving down the tunnels. You can always see a lot of moss just growing all over the place. And as you get deeper in, you start to see other flora, mushrooms, bioluminescent ones in great numbers, which is helping you all see a little bit. But things are a lot more green in the area which you are seeing. And you're starting to find a good bit of water in that area as it's dripping over, hitting y'all, and it is ice cold as y'all are moving along. At one point as well, after about an hour and a half of walking, crawling through tunnels, getting through very narrow areas where the larger members of the party are literally having to get on their bellies to get through. You'll do find another fork. One of them leads to a very large pit that seems to drop off into the dark, going deeper and deeper into the ground. The other one, you'll can hear the sound of water crashing over something.
It sounds like a waterfall, and I'm not keen to see another one for a bit. If anyone has a disagreement, I think deeper might lead us to a better solution.
You hear from Z in the back. On the other hand, water means signs of life. You ain't gonna have too much water down here. Things still need to drink.
Yeah, but water underground is also dangerous. You get trapped in it and you get suffocated in a tunnel. Things usually look for a lake this deep down.
I mean, I'm of the opinion to go look towards the water source.
Second question. Do we have a way to get down a giant hole?
Rope?
Yeah,
How much rope do
rope.
we have?
I've got at least 50.
I've got another 50.
Probably at most we have 250.
You see Z go over and kick a pebble off the side of the rock and listen for its fall.
One adamantite, 2 adamantite, 3 adamantite, 4 adamantite.
The silence continues
I don't
to
know
stretch.
I don't know the exact distance, but I think we've passed the point of death.
Agreed.
Yeah. It's a hell of a drop.
How deep did the dwarves go down here?
Not something we'll know.
Is it far enough for their liking, or not far enough? But they're missing now, so that might be one of the signs.
I guess dwarves are the masters of overcompensating.
No,
Seeing it they're one of the short races and built to the size of giants, probably.
they don't have anything on Noman.
Oof.
But are we going down here in the tent? We're gonna have to free climb it, or are we gonna go try that waterfall?
At the thought of a waterfall, no one like just blanches like. "Ugh, I do not want to have to deal with waterfalls again."
I think it might be a
But
best bet if it's that far of a
yeah,
drop, though.
yeah. I'd rather the waterfall than the abyss.
Oh.
No, I don't.
So the party begins to move again, heading back in the way of the water this time. And after about 20 minutes, the sound of the waterfall gets louder and louder and louder until y'all find yourself standing at the foot of a waterfall. But that's not what catches your interest, as you're in this beautiful green, what looks like a river as it leads away from the waterfall. But what catches your eye on the river, a little ways away from the waterfall, on your side of the river, there is a little dock with a great boat. Not like a sailing ship, but kind of like a very large canoe that could fit about 20 people. Looks like it's also made out of stone. Looks beautifully made, too.
I'm no sailor, you know. My seamanship starts and ends at the port. But the stone float?
No,
Evidently, it does.
no, it just
It can if you have enough surface area for it.
As you
Wouldn't it
see,
be too
this
heavy?
stone ship is bobbing in the water.
it shouldn't. But I don't put anything past the dwarves.
Well, should we
I'd
head
say
look?
let's.
I was right.
What was that, Blue?
Farley just kind of says, "Ha, Karen, I was right. I know rocks can float. Why would you let me turn that boulder into a boat?"
Chiron's gonna stuff some fabric into your mouth. We'll deal with that. You do not need to turn that. Nope. Nope, nope, nope.
You know, with some of the comments Farley says, I'm really starting to think that he actually enjoys being gagged.
I don't disagree with you.
I mean, it's not the craziest thing to be into.
As you'll continue on, you see Z is running their hand across the edge of the boat as it is bobbing, still tied to the dock. Oh, that's weird.
Hmm?
It's not stone. Just looks like it. Looks like it's made out of some kind of. I can't tell if it's a wood or a metal, honestly. Feels porous,
Both.
but it's got strength.
Could be made of both at the same time.
Maybe.
Chiron's going to investigate, see what they can tell from it.
You yet again also feel the same. You're not entirely sure. It has the give of a good, healthy tree, but not the rigidity of, say, stone.
Well, do we sail across?
They're being
Mm.
attacked by creatures, I'd assume not.
Well, I don't think swimming is an option.
I mean, maybe not for you.
As you said, we're looking for a lake. And this has to feed into something, right?
Agreed.
Good point. Does anyone else know how to sail? Is it just me?
Probably
No.
you. I've attempted spell jamming before, but that never ended well.
You see the leap over the side of the boat and drop into the boat itself, starting to look around at the back. You see the boat
Hi.
doesn't even tip or move.
Chiron's gonna follow.
Is there some way to man this ship?
There does look like there's what looks like a rudder system at the very back, but that's all you see. It's over where Z currently is looking around.
Okay. Well, at least we'll try and figure that out.
So, is everybody hopping on the boat, or is anybody remaining?
No one will hop into the boat.
Is there a below deck?
No, it's kind of like a canoe where you can see the bottom of it.
Okay.
Farley and Zeke.
Farley gets in the boat, if just for the idea of being in a working rock boat.
Fair.
That's how we established it's not actually rock.
Farley doesn't care.
It's rock wood. It's
Nope.
weird.
Nope. Don't ruin his dreams.
But Ezekiel, are you with us? They must not come back.
I'm
Oh, there you are.
yeah, I'm sorry. I think I have to leave early tonight. I'm apologize.
No worries. Feel free.
Good.
Alrighty. So here's the question then. Do there a lot of y'all want to continue on without them?
I do, yes.
Up to the party.
I'm good to keep going.
Okay. So the lot of y'all jump into the boat and start looking around, looking for any real mechanisms to get the ship to move. It doesn't have sails. You find a rudder, but the rudder almost doesn't seem to really move, as you can see Z wiggling it around a little bit. But after a couple minutes, you look around and you're just like, there's nothing. No paddles, no sails, no stick, no nothing at all. And you come with the conclusion of maybe it was left on the dock. And you turn back to the dock, and there's not a dock. As you realize, at some point when y'all are on the boat has untied itself and started to silently sail down the river on its own.
I'm
Oh, well,
starting to
that's
very much
concern.
not like this boat.
Oh, right. The whole magic thing.
I was gonna
Not
say, at
just
least you didn't
that,
like
I
it for
don't
the
have
start.
control of it either.
Where do you think it's taking us?
Hopefully where we're supposed to be.
Where are we
Guess
supposed to be? At least according to it.
maybe
Wherever the doors told it to go.
No
maybe
maneuvers.
there's another dock.
As y'all yet again begin to sail. You'll spend a total of 2 hours just moving silently through the dark.
Nope, not silently. After about 10 minutes, Noman would like immediately start playing on his violin, playing like some sea shanties, river music. You know that. What do you do with a drunken sailor? That kind of shit.
Fair. And as y'all are traveling, you'll notice things tend to be brighter as you're seeing more and more foliage, greenery. And not just normal, like mushroom and cave, like actual trees growing out of the walls. It's very odd. And then you see the boat eventually come to a stop at yet another dock. As you see ancient ropes wind their way off the dock, lash themselves to the boat, and pull them up to the side.
Seeing as Noman will grunt, see, like I said, another dock.
Let's tread carefully.
There's also something else that the boat notices. As y'all disembark from the boat, you see down a tunnel that leads parallel to parallel to the river. You see a light coming from the distance.
On this night after a long magical boat trip, can possibly be anything.
You know
Strange,
what they
right?
say about the light at the end of the tunnel.
You hear Snips. It's often filled with explosions.
That or glittering gold.
Gold's not useful.
I don't know. I've always been told to stay away from the light at the end of the tunnel, but I thought some people trying to keep me from dying.
You see Z looks to Chiron and then nods towards the light.
Chiron will nod back and follow.
I need stealth checks from the pair. The two of you move almost silently, like ghosts, moving step after step, heading closer and closer to this strange light. And as deep down as you are, it's very bright, all things considered. And as you get deeper and deeper, eventually you see what's making the light. You see the tunnel shifts down, but high above, it looks like there's a singular large crystal sitting at the top of a large cavern that seems to be emitting almost sunlight level energy, as it is completely lit up everything around it.
What? As Noman extinguishes his lantern.
Is
That's
Noman
a bit
You're
with
loud.
you?
not there.
This is just the
No,
Oh,
Snips.
Noman is
yeah.
not.
Oh, sorry, I forgot about the stealth. God.
Yep. So this is Chiron and the
Chiron is going to start just investigating everything, see what there is to see.
You see as you step forward, Z suddenly puts a hand in front of you. And you can see, as you whip around to see what's going on, their eyes are narrowed. And they put a finger to their lips.
Gonna pull my hood further up or further down and look where they're looking.
They're looking down the tunnel, but as you start to listen, you start hearing something. The grunting of voices. But you're not sure what is being said. It doesn't seem to be a language you're familiar with. But it seems deep and rumbling, kind of a very slow language.
Quick question: is this actual language I don't know, or
Yes,
are
I
you just
double-checked.
assuming? Okay. I have to ask because you have indeed made that mistake.
I double checked.
Okay. Chiron is going to sign in Thieves' Cant, seeing if Z understands the language.
Remember, Thieves' Cant isn't a hand gesture, it's part of normal speech.
It has hand gestures that can
It
be
does.
used to
Yep.
communicate.
Fair. But they shake their head. They don't seem to understand it either.
Chiron's gonna just whisper as quietly as they can. Should we go forward or go get the others?
They kind of shrug. There's benefits and detriments to both.
Chiron is going to stick to the shadows and to see if we can investigate a little bit more. Better to get a clearer picture when we go back, as we are the worst case scenario, we just scream.
Yeah, I was right. Thieves' Cant doesn't have gestures. It's verbal and written.
It's basically a lot of double entendres just to get your point across.
Yeah.
Either way.
But what did you say?
I said since Z is not making up their mind, Chiron is going to make it up for them. They are moving forward stealthily.
Fair. As you continue walking forward, careful to stay in the shadows. Z a couple feet behind you, making sure they're not in your way. First thing you see is you're coming up on what looks like a bush. Very full bush. You hear the voices seem to be right beyond the bush in whatever room's just beyond.
I'm going to make, how do I make sure that that is like an actual bush?
Nature? As far as you can tell, it looks like a bush. Doesn't seem to be moving.
Oh.
Chilling.
Not poisonous or anything?
Not as far as you can tell.
Okay.
It just seems like a normal fern.
Chiron is going to. They don't want to get into the bush because that will make rustling noises. But they're also trying to use it as cover, trying to peek into the room.
You see it's pretty dense. If you want to see through, you'll have to get under it or over it. Or through it.
Skitter over the wall.
You start to go up and over to see there is a space above the brush that doesn't have covered, which is how you saw the large sun crystal. But you get a good look in a very expansive room, which mostly seems to be covered with a lake. It's effectively where the water is gathering at the end of the river. But more interestingly, you see there are wooden pathways laid out against some of the rocks surrounding it. Up to the far north, there is a little dock. But what draws your eye is the fire, as a little fire has been set up on a platform in which you see four massive creatures sitting around a fire, surrounded by bones and litter. You see what you know to be ogres.
Alrighty. Chiron is going to quietly go back to Z and have them back up to a respectable distance, still sticking to the shadows. And once we're far enough away, we'll let them know. Ogres. How many were there?
You saw four, all sitting around a campfire.
Yeah. So at least 4.
Fair.
Time to go get the others.
They nod and then they move back off along with you. What would you say when you return to the party?
So who wants to go fight some ogres?
Wait,
Kiki gives a nod.
so how many ogres are over there?
At least 4.
Not
Can we
that
shoot them
many.
Can we shoot them from far away?
I mean, more likely than not, you can. We've got
Okay.
some of our people that need to get in close, so you're going to want to hold off on that.
Ogres aren't known for being bright. We might be able to draw them in the tunnel. How wide is the tunnel?
When you came through, it was probably only about 10, 12 feet tall. That
And
Chiron went
across?
through. Well, they were going down there for a while, so they're going to be, it's down there.
No, I meant wide.
Oh, wide, probably 6 feet.
Oof, that's skinny.
You guys are want to go
No.
fight them out in the open, because straight up, otherwise we're going to get bottlenecked on each other, and the front line's just going to get decimated.
Yeah, if we could fit 3 abreast, we'd be better off, but
Honestly, 2 abreast would be fine, but doesn't look like it's the most realistic. My thought process is get as close as we can stealthing.
yeah, not great for some of us, though. I'm or while trying to be light on the feet. I could work as a distraction though, get their attention.
Kai and I could be a distraction as well, have them looking the wrong way while Elise and those others come up. You
I
hear from
speak
Z.
giant, so I should be able to communicate with them to a degree.
Is it
Get their attention. You want to say something?
no, ignore me. I'm speaking aloud.
Okay.
That's how most people speak.
I am talking to myself. Leave me alone with the voices.
So, what would the
Which
party
is the
like to
word
do?
or many?
I mean, they're ogres. The likelihood of having a legitimate conversation is
Doesn't have to be legitimate. I could just distract, get their attention on me, while you two sneak behind at least, and maybe some of the others get around.
versus if the thing is that you and Chiron points to you and Fiki suck at stealth, but you need to get close enough to get in without bottlenecking the rest of us.
Yeah.
So me and Z being the distraction should give you and Fiki time to get into melee without bottlenecking our casters. Because we are 100% going to be able to get closer. Which should give
that's
you a chance to actually get in proper.
hopefully. I'll know when it comes down to it, but I will agree with this. This seems workable.
Any input, Noman?
If we're thinking about stepping up to them, I can at least help with that.
Better for. Honestly, Noman, you've got invisibility, don't you?
Yes, and I'm quite light on my feet.
Go in invisible behind me and Z. That way that you can get into a proper position. There's no point in you being a distraction. Just get to where that you can safely spellcast.
The only spell I can cast and hurts people is my cutting wit. So
Are you a frontliner then?
I, yeah,
Your
not
AC is 13?
yes.
Okay.
I don't have a good build. Yeah, okay, I don't have a good build for combat. Quite frankly.
Okay. So, yeah, you need to be in the back so that you can support the front. Because if you go into the front, they're going to wreck your ass.
So, what's the plan?
You be the support.
I'll do my best.
I'd say sounds like me and Z are going in stealthing until we can cause a distraction. So that Noman and the rest can get in and get up close.
Fair.
Get no in position, and Fiki and I charge at them full force.
Yep. And then Farley and looked at Snips. You front or back?
I'd wherever I need to be. As you
Where do you wish
see,
to be?
they hold up their hand, wiggle their fingers, and a gauntlet suddenly wrap itself around their fingers, go down their arm, and in seconds, yet again, they are surrounded by armor.
Make sure that Farley doesn't go down then.
Yeah, I can do that. And if push comes to shove, I can put him on a rocket and launch him at it.
Yes, let's go with that plan.
A barbarian tried to convince me that's how you do magical damage. Projectile wizards. I haven't had the chance to test it out yet, so I don't know if it works.
Ooh, what if we combine it with my blast so that they have an extra streak while they go in and murder the foes?
That might be good.
Yes, we must immediately start workshopping this.
We can test that not in the midst of combat. That is for with the safe parameters. We'll test that theory later.
There's no such thing as safe
Preferably-
parameters.
Preferably
that?
outside where the roof won't collapse on us.
They said there's no such thing as safe parameters.
You're all nuts.
You get handed a bag of trail mix.
Chiron looks at it sadly, like they actually do want to eat it, but there's no point. And
So,
hands it back.
are y'all going in?
Yep. Let's go.
Now, before we do this, do note we only have about an hour left. Do y'all wish to continue or wait?
Continue.
I think this is going to be a short-ish combat, but probably rest of the time.
All
Maybe
right.
a bit of next session.
So, y'all start to push forward with Chiron and Z taking up the start. Can I get self checks from the pair? That is a 25 from Chiron. And a 22 from Z. The pair of you begin to move. Let's get y'all onto the map. As you still see the four of them milling about on the other side of the lake. You see Z has pulled their crossbow and is ready to follow.
Okay. So yeah, me and okay. So Farley or spellcasters basically need to go over here.
Where?
And then me and Z need to get up over here so that our front line can get in
Where do you want the spellcasters?
over here.
Well, there's not a lot of good place to stand over there.
Yeah. If you hold shift, you'll focus everyone's view to it, Chiron.
Going north, you won't actually have anywhere good to stand to cast. Only these lighter areas are actually standable ground.
What about right here?
No, if you get over there, you can stand there just fine.
We can body block that off if we need to.
Yeah. Just basically getting you guys not in the front.
Yeah.
But either way,
Preferably just across the bridge.
me and Z need to get over here.
Alrighty.
So I would say me and Z go up this way and go around so that we're actually on the right side.
So where are you looking?
So while our front line's going this way, me and Z are going up so that their attention is drawn upward.
Do note while you'll be fine, Z won't be able to move through this very easily at all. Has a high chance of falling.
Okay, then what is this?
A rock wall. You can go through it, but that is it's a wall effectively. It's part of cliffside.
Okay.
So effectively, you'd be rock climbing to go. Possible,
Okay,
but
then-
dangerous.
Okay, so I could get through it just fine. Z is the issue.
Yeah, because they can't stick to a wall like you can.
So in that case, then maybe Z goes this way and tries to get around them without being seen, and then I can start making a kerfuffle up top.
Okay.
That way, once I start making a kerfuffle up there, Z can get in and bring backup. So, stealth.
As
Get
you
her,
start to
get
move
her.
this way, Z goes in the other direction. But Farley, you and Elise see Z doesn't make it more than a couple steps before suddenly freezing and dropping low to the ground.
Oh, the plan. Well, that plan failed fast.
As you see, they are backing off. Farley, are you saying that out loud?
No, he's saying that. No, I'm saying that to myself.
Okay. As you see, Z is crawling backwards. They make it all the way back to Elise and Farley. And you hear them hiss out a whisper. There's another ogre just around that corner.
Shit. Everyone's alright mostly across too. This is going to get messy.
There's a nod before they start to move again, moving back up to the side of the rock and glancing around the corner. And then they disappear around the foliage, continuing on at a decent pace. Chiron, as you get to the brush on the other side, you see when you turn around, you can only just see Z dart through an area moving along. She seems to be a good distance behind where she should be. Because you've covered a lot more ground than she has.
I mean, I am faster than she is, but that being said,
This is the distance of like 100 meters versus like 20.
Fair. That being said, Chiron is going to wait to make sure that they get in position before they start doing a kerfluffle.
Z starts making their way across, and you briefly see them moving again. Just the shadow on the other rock as they make it up ahead.
Okay. In that case, I am going to get over here. Do I see any other
Ogres.
ogres in this area besides the 4?
Not that you notice now.
Okay. Well then, I am going to start doing my menace to society bit with tossing rocks and then hiding again, trying to gain their attention.
Where are you tossing the rocks?
Basically over here,
So you're
away
throwing them
from
into the
me.
pit that's behind him. As
Is
you can
that not
see
another
now,
cliff face?
no, well, it is a cliff face, but it goes down, not up.
Okay. Then in that case, I'll throw it in the water.
Everyone hears a kersloosh as the rock lands in the water, and 2 of the ogres turn to look, specifically these 2 up to the north. But you hear they're still chatting. Elise, you said you speak giant?
Elise does, in fact, speak giant.
What was that? Bro, just another rock falling out of the ceiling. Nothing to worry about, Jimmy. Yeah? But what if it's not? You heard it went kaput. Of course it's a rock. Yeah? But what if it's a little person? Little people don't make kerplooshes, they make crunches. It's fair, I suppose.
Chiron's going to continue their toss and hide.
You'll hear another
Basic.
explosion. There it is again. I swear I saw something this time, David. No, Jimmy, you didn't. But it was red. You're just seeing things, Jimmy. But it had a tail. Most things have tails. Jimmy. What? Not you, Timmy, Jimmy. Chiron, they don't seem to be moving much at all.
So I'm gonna keep. Basically, what I am doing is tossing the rock, as well as staying hidden in the foliage, but starting to shake them. Just constantly moving.
Fair. How's the rest of the party dealing with this? At least you can hear this going on.
Well, Noman cast had when they started going over. Noman cast invisibility and started getting into his position, which was over here, right?
I don't know. I don't know where y'all were trying to go.
The
That's where
spellcasters
the
were going over
caster's
here.
supposed to be. But we were told that there might be one over there, yeah?
Over here. Like right around
Ping
the
again?
bush from y'all.
Oh, right there, there's supposed to be one.
Yeah, that's where Z stopped.
Shit.
Can't go there. It's out of range of most of my spells.
No, there's a ogre there, is the issue.
There's an
Like,
ogre over
probably
here.
right there is where ogre probably is. Just hidden away in the bush from us.
Hmm.
Hey, Kenny, you see any little red things? Elise, you hear right next to where y'all are. Nah, don't see nothing at all. Found some red berries, though. They look tasty, but I think they're that one that killed Kenneth. You mean the little berries that killed Kenneth? We shouldn't be eating those. Yeah, that's what I said. Who'd you say it to? The little lady that walked by? What little lady? The little one with the hair. You know hair's just a myth, Kenny. Is it? Yeah. Oh, well, the myth just walked by. No, it didn't, Kenny. That's just a myth. Oh, okay.
They're so stupid.
Out of character. I don't want to kill these ogres now. I want to befriend them. They haven't CC. I don't want to kill these ogres.
At least you're the only one that understands them. What you doing?
I know. I drag Noman over real quick and just whisper real quiet. Can you throw your voice and change it?
Is that something the actor feat can help me do?
I don't think so. You can definitely
can
change
mimic-
your voice, but throwing your voice is not a thing you'd be able to do.
Wonder if you have a spell for that more.
Be minor illusion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do minor illusion and make it sound anywhere within. What was it? 30 feet of us. Although making it sound that close to us, I don't think that's a good idea.
But you can make it around 30 feet from us.
Oh, well, that big butt's in a cannot lie. I saw them and I couldn't deny. You hear the one around the corner just starting to sing to himself quietly. You hear some rustling of the bushes. You get the distinct feeling there's an ogre dancing around the corner.
If you can throw your voice from just over the river, it's probably stupid enough to think it's coming from the fire.
I could.
Hey, David, I just noticed something. There's more of those little myths. No, there's not. But there is. I can see them.
Have we just been standing in the vision of this ogre this entire goddamn time?
Oh, y'all look over and y'all see there's just an ogre looking through the brushes at you. Yeah, there's 5 of them. Just standing there, all with hair. You said hair was a myth. It is a myth, Kenny. Oh, so they're not real? No. Go back to picking berries. Oh, okay. Bye-bye, myths. As he turns his back and starts going back to the berries.
In truth, the thoughts have won. No one's gonna wave at the ogre goodbye.
Oh, he waves back.
Oh, want to kill them? I don't even want to attack them. They're goddamn adorable.
Can I
They are
see this from
ogres.
the other side? Because I don't want to kill them.
You can't, from where you're sitting, there's too much foliage to see that way over there. Plus, he's in the foliage over there.
Okay.
You can hear the calling of the different ogres talking to each other, though.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask at least. So you're looking at them like you understand. Can you speak their language?
I can. Oh god, I forgot how stupid they are.
Why? What does it even say?
I had a little dog, he sat there on the wall. I saw him there, and then I didn't, and then there was a crunch. I turned around and looked for my cute little pup. I did not find him. I looked, I looked, I looked. Then my friend said, "What happened to your dog?" And then I looked, and there on my bum was a smear. I seem to have sat on my dog. Poor dog. Hey, David, what's a dog? It's another myth, Kenny. Oh, okay.
I think the one that's near us is basically you, Noman. It's a bard. It's just singing horrible, horrible songs.
Well,
But it doesn't think we exist, so I think we can just walk by.
do you want to try? I like character. Do you guys should we just like walk past this guy?
I honestly think we'd be golden.
Fuck it. Intrusive thoughts are intruding very successfully. So Novin is just after hearing that apparently the guy doesn't even think we're real. Novin's just gonna start walking down the path.
Be fair, you're still invisible, aren't you?
I never casted invisibility. I was going to, but then Cece said that there was an ogre right here.
Oh god.
So Novin's just gonna walk up very casually, walking down the path.
You see this ogre is bopping from side to side as if listening to non-existent music. You see him stick his hip out, and then he does a little shake, and then he sticks his hip out to the other side.
Elise is going to join in on walking by it too. Jeez.
I'm going to turn to Elise and say, for a big man, he moves quite well.
You see, suddenly turns around and looks at you. Oh, look, little myths. Hello, little myths.
Can I understand him?
Elise can.
Good day, we don't actually exist, we're just a figment.
What's a pigment? I've got some figs.
Your mind having fun.
What's a mind? I'm mine. It's my figs.
While Elise is having a conversation, Nova's going to continue just walking.
Just show on. Just
No,
behind her
man,
back, she's going
I
to wave over the
need-
others while she's distracting.
I need an
What'd you say?
athletics or acrobatics from you.
Let's see which one am I better at. Acrobatics.
You don't know when, but he reached out and grabbed you and has picked you up. Oh, I can touch you! David, I can touch the little myth! I'm sure you can. No, see, I got it. It's squishy. Noman, he pokes you in the face with a giant finger.
I'm going to cast
Oh, no.
comprehend languages just so I can understand everything that's happening. It's instantaneous, right? And it doesn't. And all it is like. Oh wait, no, that's I was looking at silvery barbs. Where's one of those comprehend languages? A pinch of soot and salt, and casting time is one action.
You're
Fuck.
grappled, not restrained, so
I could, but it could be construed as an attack.
you could ask Elise to tell them that you're casting something so that you can understand them.
Right now he's in the category of myth.
Yeah.
At least, can you tell him that I am not a threat and I definitely taste like shit?
If you would put down my friendly myth,
Oh
we'd
god,
just like to
there's
go on
more
our
of them!
way.
David, there's 5 of them! 5 little myths! Even a little myth with the other myths! They're so small. I'm sure
Yes, but we
they
have
are.
hair.
Hey, there's not real little myth.
Yes, that's why we're myths, and that's why you should put him down, though.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me put you down. What's your AC, woman?
13.
As that's gonna hit.
Crunch goes the bard.
As the bard gets slammed into the ground for 8 damage bludgeoning. There you go, little myth! Y'all all hear a crunch as fucking Noman slams into the ground.
It's fine. I didn't even finish taking off my temporary hit points. But no, but like, thank you.
Oh, it's anything, David? I don't understand this one, but the metal one looks familiar. Hey, wait a minute. Haven't we met before, little myth? No, David. No, I'm David. No, Kenny, you haven't met a myth before. But I swear I've seen this one about before. It's just like the little red one, only without the horns. What little red one? You saw the little red one too. I did. They went across the wall like a spider. Yeah, I saw that too. You didn't. There's no such things as the little myths, Kenny. Are you sure? They feel so real.
While I'm down, well, after I got put down, Noman is going to do the casting of comprehend languages, just shaking up the soot and salt, tossing it over my shoulder, doing the hand gestures, just so I can understand what the fuck is
Do
happening.
you have a component pouch?
I have.
Because it sounds like you usually use an arcane focus as your instrument.
Yeah.
So you need to
So
play
no.
your instrument.
So yeah, no, Noman is just going to play a quick little tune on, flip over onto his back and play a quick little tune.
You see Chiron, the other 4, suddenly look up at the sound of a violin being played. What was
Ellie
that?
smacks her face.
We've got intruders! They've got that musical shit! We need to get them! Come on, boys! As the biggest one gets up and starts charging, and all of them are on their feet, and I need initiative rolled.
Okay, because I am still hidden, as soon as he starts moving, can I shoot a crossbow bolt?
You'd be able to do it on your turn. You're considered hidden, not surprised.
Okay.
Because you and Z are both hidden. None of the rest
Okay.
of the party is.
Fair enough. Oh God, I rolled. Nah. Nah, fuck that. I'm using my MVP.
Fair. Initiative.
Much better.
Just need one from Farley.
I don't think Farley's technically in roll 20 yet.
Yeah, I got to do it for Farley.
Farley, are you still with us?
I mean, they're still typing. They're still muted. So
Please hold for
they.
just a moment. And we're back. Sorry about the wait. Guess it wasn't much of a wait for y'all, but it was a wait for us. Let me get the ogres rolled in. I've got David, I've got Jimmy, I've got Timmy, and I've got Ron. Then I need Kenny.
Did you put the actual name tags on them?
Yeah. Alrighty. As they are going to start moving, the first one to be able to react is Fiki, who is going to push past, going 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, as they are going to dash across the bridge, heading to intercept David the Ogre, who is on his way. Weapon. He has a large spiked club in his hand and is ready to fight the party. Chiron, that brings us to you.
Okay, so this one specifically is looking the most aggressive.
The other three are starting to charge with him. He was just the first one to start moving.
Okay, well, I'm going to attack that one with my crossbow. Oh, I have. Do I have advantage from being hidden?
Yeah.
I think I do. Okay.
And that is going to be a 20 to hit, which is going indeed to hit.
Okay. Got nice. For 12, since I have that, and then I am going to bonus action rehide.
Okay. You hear David start to yell as an arrow blossoms out of his shoulder. That little bitch hit me even from over here. Oh, I'm gonna rip off their arms. As he comes barreling over the bridge. Not really understanding he just got shot in the back by Chiron. He's going after those making noise over there.
Fair enough.
Finally, that brings us to you. What you doing?
All right, I'll move over here. I am going to cast. Let me see if I can actually reach them. Okay. I'm going to target this one over here with Hex.
Which one?
Number 2 with Hex.
2. Gotcha.
Right, and then I'm going to shoot him with an Eldritch Blast.
Gotcha. I believe you should be in range.
Yeah,
Yep.
Hex is 90 feet and Eldritch Blast is 120.
Yep. Your private rolling, that's going to be a 22 to hit, though.
Oh, oops. Okay, and Eldritch Blast.
That's
Okay,
gonna
it's
do
not adding
8.
my charisma from. It's not adding my charisma from agonizing, so that's an 11 plus 5. So in total is
16.
11 force, 5 necrotic.
Mhm.
Also, and I
Ow!
choose wisdom. And I choose wisdom for their hex.
Warner! There's a little blue one! Look at him! Look at him! He just did something! There was purple stuff! David, it's the myths! They're coming from my nightmares!
I have my turn.
That is going to bring us to Jimmy, who is going to let out a roar and start to run himself. He is going to go all the way over here with his dash. Which brings us to Elise.
Okay. I thought I can touch that for a second. Okay. Move to there. Yeah, let's start us off strong. Fighting spirit.
Gotcha. I imagine action surge with it.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
I want action surge as well. 17 and a 13
Both
hit.
are going to hit.
Both are going to hit. Nice. 10, 23 total.
Ah! The little myth that's stabbing me! You little angry myth! Why? I wanted to see your hair. I even had a little brush. As he takes out a little old dwarven brush used for beards.
You should know better than pick up myths. And I can't really push Noman, but I'm going to push Noman as go. That's it.
That is going to bring us to Z. Z is going to sink deeper back in to get advantage, as they keep an eye on waiting for the group to pass her by before joining the fray in total. That is going to bring us to David, who is coming streaming by his friend. He is going to scoop up a rock out of the thing and yeet it at Fiki. As it goes flying. Alrighty. Come on, do damage, please. That is going to nail Fiki with an 18, bowling them over for 11 total bludgeoning damage. They need to make a strength save. They are going to manage to hold their ground as they brace themselves and bash the boulder off their shield. That is going to bring us to Snips, as Snips is going to they're going to dash up here, and they are going to shoot a bolt of lightning at David. They are going to hit David with a 17, dealing 13 total lightning damage against David. That brings us to Ron. Ron's looking around, just like, where did that little stick come from? I wonder, is there anything in this bush over here? Is he's going to start parting the bushes looking in here. And Chiron, you look up and he sees you, and you see him, and he just kind of blinks. What are you? Are you a myth?
I can't understand him, can I?
Nope. He's speaking in giant.
And Chiron just looks up at him and goes, and just whispers, "Hello," and waves.
Oh, it made a little sound. Don't worry, little one. They won't squish you as long as you're not a myth. I heard myths have a lot of hair. You don't look like you have too much and you're red. I don't know about red myths. That's it for him. Which brings us to Kenny. As Kenny's screaming, why would you stab me, little myths? I was going to be friends with you. As he is going to take a swipe at Elise. First one's going to miss, but the second one's going to catch you full in the chest for a crit.
Okay.
As it is going to do 16 bludgeoning damage, and you have become grappled.
16, 60 minus 3,
As it
13
lifts
total.
you up off the ground. Oh, I was going to be friends with you!
And
As Elise is now being crushed in the fist of this gentle ogre.
okay.
That is the end of their turn, which brings us to Noman.
All right. Noman is going to draw his sword, aim for the fat fist grabbing Elise, and stab him. Use it, and he's going to add a psychic blades to that. Damn it.
That is going to me. That is an 11.
That does work. So no one will then apologize. This is the best that I can do, and use a bonus action to give at least a bardic inspiration.
Who's getting it? Elise?
Mhm.
Alrighty.
And he's gonna get the fuck out of here. He's gonna risk the opportunity attack.
Gotcha.
So he's gonna go over with Folly.
They are indeed going to take a swipe at you. They are going to hit. As you get bashed with the attack, the hand that is holding Elise, so you get bashed with Elise's shield. You are going to take a total of 4 damage after Elise's intercept.
All right, I no longer have any temporary hit points, but aside from that, I'm looking good.
Alrighty. That's going to bring us to Timmy. Timmy's going to go over here and pick up a rock. You little angry miss are hurting my friends. I'm going to teach you better. As he yeets this giant boulder that's bigger than Farley and bowls over Farley, dealing 6 bludgeoning damage. I need a strength save from Farley.
Blue.
Blue, you are muted.
What's going on?
You're getting hit with a
Strength
rock.
save.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear that part. How much damage?
You are going to take 6 damage from this one. I need a strength save.
Ew, balls. That's a 3.
That's going to knock you on your ass as you get launched 10 feet.
Do I just slam into Noman?
You go past him.
Whee!
Not that way. You're down to the left. You're over here.
Oh, okay.
And you are
Ow.
now prone. I also need your concentration save to keep up Hex. You're going to manage to keep your concentration. So that is all he is up to, which is going to bring us to Fiki, as Fiki is going to rush forward to engage the first ogre, as she is going to take a shot with her long spear. She is going to hit with an 18 and deal 10 piercing damage. Alrighty, Chiron, that brings us to you.
Okay, I'm going to use an object interaction to pull a ration out of my bag, and I'm going to hand it to the ogre.
Oh, you've got meat. I like meat. He is going to take it.
and Chiron's going to pat him on the knee and slink back into the. It's basically going to just and hide in the water.
You stay safe, little red thing. Look out for David and Ron. They don't like myths. Not that you understand anything of what he's saying.
Okay.
And it's in a whisper, so Elise can't hear it.
Yeah. But as I start to go back, Chiron's going to point at them and kind of gesture in the hopes that they get stay in the bush. Just stay in the bush. As they're going to go a bonus action re-hide.
Who were you telling to stay in the bush? The ogre?
I want the ogre to stay in the bush.
He's much too big to stay in the bush. He doesn't even fit in the bush.
Fair. Where the hell is my stealth? As I am now hiding in the water, I can get about here.
Let's have speed in the water. Could you be swimming?
Yeah, it's fine. I can get about there.
Also, do note the cliffs down to the water are about 15 feet.
So technically, I'm on the cliff,
Fair.
but I'm hiding down. I'm trying to stay hidden.
That brings us to Farley. Farley, you have been knocked on your ass. What you gonna do? Excuse me.
Hello. You're muted again.
Blue da ba dee da ba da.
Yeah, no, sorry, I was thinking. Ow. Okay, first Farley's going to stand up after being in so much pain. 2 is still in my line of sight, right?
Yes.
Okay, after...
Blue, before we continue, did you take the damage off your temp HP first?
what temp HP?
You have
From the
12
store,
from touch of,
you have 12 temp from the story time the day before.
Oh, crud. Oh, I thought that wore off.
Yeah, it did.
It did, but we went a second. You went with us the second time, so it re-upped.
Oh, right. Oh, I completely forgot about that.
I remind you. I go back into the shadows.
Yeah. Farley would literally, whenever that talk would happen, Farley would just go in and talk because he doesn't understand the concept of shut the up.
We're well past that. You took it off your tab. You're good. What's Farley up to?
Yeah. Farley's going to get up, look at the one that he hexed, and try to shoot and try to hit them again. Basically, just focusing on one of them before they get too close.
Gotcha.
Alrighty. Normal. Let's see. Where's my? I really gotta remove the ones I don't use on here. Here's my other blast. There it is.
That is
I
unfortunate.
see an 11, doesn't it?
Going to miss.
Okay. Alrighty. No bonus action now. Actually, bonus action. I'll go into my form of demon.
Okay.
All right, so my temp HP goes 10 now.
You know it doesn't stack. It just takes whatever's highest.
Oh yeah, I know, but I was down to 6, so now I just basically gained 4 more.
Okay, so you have 8, 10, a D10 plus proficiency, I'm guessing.
No, it's D10 plus my warlock level.
Ah, okay, yeah, 10.
Alrighty, so now I'm in my big red and giant horn form, and now in my turn.
That'll bring us to this ogre who's going to come strutting up. They're going to attempt to bash Fiki with their club. They're going to miss as Fiki nimbly dodges out of the way. And then the fist is going to come back in as Fiki is going to block that with her shield. Elise.
Remind me again, grapple doesn't interfere with my attacks, does it?
Nope, just makes your speed.
Oh, okay. And I'm not that concerned. I am going to proc Fighting Spirit again.
Okay.
And go for the attack. Ooh, that definitely hits for 10 more slash. Yeah,
Gotcha.
my 10 HP. It's a full action to break a grapple, isn't it?
Correct. It takes your standard.
Yeah, so I won't bother. And I think that is all for me.
That is going to bring us to Z, who is going to switch from their crossbow to their daggers, as they are going to jump on this thing's back and attempt to stab it into the back of its neck. Do. So you have this time. You are going to jump up there. You have your Schwarzsword. As you are going to dig down, you are going to crit. As you drive the blade into the base of its neck, dealing a total of 10 plus 11 plus 13 for a total of 34 damage. As Fiki poisons it, not Fiki, Zeke poisons it, which is going to do significant damage to David. David is looking pretty bad. He lets out a roar, as you can see Z is riding on his shoulders at the moment. Blade sunk into the back of his neck. That is going to bring us to David himself, who is going to whip around and try to grab at Z. He is going to crit in return, grabbing her by the face and flicking her back down. He is going to crush 11 damage. And then he is going to throw her at Fiki. Fiki needs to make me a dex save. She does not manage to hit it. She is going to be knocked prone. And she is going to take a d6 worth of damage. You're getting from here. As Z goes flying that way and falls into the river with a splash. They are going to take 2d6 damage for a total of 5, which breaks their temp and starts taking health from, as they are prone in the water. Well, not really prone, they're just in the water. Which brings us to Snips. Snips is going to continue forward, send another bolt of lightning at David. Whop. They are going to critically miss, unfortunately, which brings us to Ron, who is going to be munching happily on the ration. That brings us to Kenny. Kenny is going to rush over here with a bellow straight at Farley, bringing Elise.
Can he do that? Well, oh, okay. Fuck.
And he is going to smash Elise down at Farley.
Okay, where'd that go?
That is going to miss Elise, but your shield is also going to miss Farley. They miss Farley. So you bash against the ground, but you don't manage to take any damage before they are going to bowl you from here and just launch you out this way. I need a dex save from both Farley and Noman. Noman manages to dive out of the way, unbothered.
To my dex check not go through?
Nope, not yet.
Alright, let me try it. There we go.
You also manage to roll out of the way as Elise goes flying by. Elise, you are going to take 11 bludgeoning damage as you slam into the water and start to sink. The
Does
water
heavy armor
is icy
still
cold.
heavy armor mastery count to that or no?
Yes, it is just normal bludgeoning damage.
Okay,
Actually,
so
let me look
11.
at heavy master. That might be against specific. No, I think
It
it's
says
still
bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing unless it's magical.
Yeah, but I think its target also matters with that specifically. So give me a second. It's heavy armor master. Non-magical attack specifically. So yes, since this was attack, you are going to take damage. It wouldn't protect you from like falls and whatnot, which is what I was looking at.
Okay, so you said 11 minus 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
So 8 damage.
Cool.
And you are currently sinking into ice cold water. I need a Constitution save. Which I also need to do for Z.
I'm just doing
Z's going to
math
fail.
because my brain is stupid. Constitution save at. Does that? Just looking at athlete real quick. I don't think it does. No, it doesn't do anything.
You don't manage to get stunned by the cold of the water, but you are sinking very quickly. Because you're carrying a shield. Or no, you don't have a shield. You have a great sword. And you
Heavy
are
armor.
in heavy armor, yeah. It's not good
Yeah.
for you. But that is going to bring us to Noman.
All right. Noman is going to. Well, he's at full health and he doesn't want Farley to get hurt, but he also saw Elise get tossed into the water. How deep is that water?
You don't
there
know.
any way to
You
tell?
can't see the bottom.
Keep in mind, Elise is the one that kept you afloat earlier.
Yeah, it's time to return the favor. So Noman is going to run back over here and with grab a
Hey.
Hmm?
Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like that was not what they meant by that.
Again, the exact opposite, but it's too late now.
What do you mean?
Noman, keep going. What you doing?
And Noman will like grab a loop of rope from his belt and toss it toward Elise for the opposite interaction.
You can't actually see Elise in the water. You see a shape, but you're pretty sure it's them. But they are under the water somewhere.
Shit.
But yeah, you throw the
They,
rope in
they
the
need
water.
a hero. So Noman, oh god, Noman is going to attempt to dive in to help Elise.
You need a con save.
This is going to be cold, cold as ass.
You are stunned by it. As you start to sink. Elise, you can see the stunned Noman sinking into the ground. Not the ground, the
Face palm
water.
underwater.
Ah, you're stunned, which means that you're actively drowning.
Yep. And that brings us on to Timmy. Timmy is going to take another rock, and he is going to attempt to throw it at Farley at disadvantage. As he is going to go, yeet. Come on, roll the thing, please. With disadvantage, he barely misses Farley as a massive boulder crashes next to your head, Farley.
Yes.
Which brings us to Fiki. Fiki is going to roll back onto her feet as she is going to attempt to hold this line all on her lonesome. She is going to take a stab at David with her spear. She's going to hit with a 21, dealing a total of 9 damage. Alrighty, that's going to bring us to Chiron. Chiron, you heard 2 distinct splashes. You turned around after the first one, not having seen Elise hit the water, but you definitely saw Noman jump in.
I don't know that the water's cold, so I assume that I physically saw Noman jump in.
Yeah.
So he did it intentionally, and I don't realize how cold the water is.
Nope.
So
No.
what I do see is this one keeps throwing rocks. So, we are level 3. I am going to, I'm hidden, so I am just going to attack this one. So we are level 3, and therefore I can attack unabated. And I have advantage, but I haven't quite finished getting my sheet on a roll 20, so bear with me.
You also have disadvantage if you're shooting at number 3.
Why would I have disadvantage at number 3?
Because a hand crossbow only has a range of 30.
Shit. Give me a second. Okay, well then, skitter, skitter, skitter. Back is towards me.
Yeah. Now you have it. That's going to hit. That is going to do 19 damage to him.
Skitter, skitter, skitter into this little crevice, and I'm gonna hide again.
Gotcha. That will bring us to Farley.
Alrighty, considering this big one next to me, I'm going to use Shocking Grasp on them.
Gotcha. They're not wearing metal, so you don't have advantage.
And I miss.
That's indeed going to miss. As you see him reach out towards him, lightning sheathing your hand, and he just kind of swats at you. Get away from me!
Alright.
You little angry miss! I should have listened to David, I should have. And as you back up, he is going to take that attack of opportunity against you. As he is going to attempt to bring down his club on you. He is going to hit for a total of 7 piercing damage. As a massive spiked club comes crashing down on your shoulders. I also need a concentration save. Also, did you get up? Because you got up earlier. You're fine. No, yeah, this is your first turn up, isn't it?
What do you mean? I had to get up to shoot my electric blast earlier. Also, with disadvantage.
Okay. Just remember to take the token off your the prone token off your sheet. You're fine.
Okay.
Anything else from Farley?
No. Why is this thing not saving my health?
Alrighty. That's going to bring us over here to Jimmy, who is going to attempt to bash Fiki into a paste with his club and his fist, neither of which are going to hit, as Fiki is being a wall over there. That is going to bring us to Elise. Elise, you are in the water, your sword in hand, but you are sinking as well. Noman is sinking. I need another con save.
Okay.
You're still holding time.
Again. That rope is just floating nearby, I'm guessing. That was thrown.
It's high above you, but
Okay. Put away the sword. And Noman's within reach too, or no?
you have to swim about 5 feet,
Okay, I could just do a quick kick out for that, I'm guessing.
which costs 10 of your movement.
Yep. Grab him, and I think with the rest of my movement, I should be able to get him to the rock wall and cling on, and double dash to climb up.
Grabbing him costs your movement. Not your movement, your action. so you'd only be able to get right to the wall,
Single
right at the
dash.
edge of
Okay.
the water. So you're not drowning, but
Yeah.
anything else?
No, grapple Noman and stop the descent on the wall. Then climb up next turn, I think.
Gotcha. That brings us to Z, who managed to shake themselves out of their stun and digs in and swims up into the wall, climbing out of it. Which is going to bring us to David. David is all kinds of pissed off at this little red-headed myth, and he is going to attempt to smash her into paste. As he lets out a mighty roar and starts beating the snot out of them. Both of them hitting Fiki for a total of 20 damage to Fiki. And she is going to take a pair of decent blows. Which brings us to Snips. Snips is going to stay behind, launching another bolt of lightning at David. She is going to hit with a 20. She is going to do a total of 13 damage to him. That brings us to Ron. As Ron is going to come over here. I need an athletics or acrobatics, Chiron.
He sees me.
Yeah.
Damn, I tried. You said athletics or acrobatic?
Yep.
We're always gonna go acrobatic. Discord, get out of my way.
You are going to manage to slip free, as he seems to be trying to tell you off. Now, little not myth, that's not very nice. You don't shoot Timmy in the back like that. Don't you be doing that.
He thinks I'm a pet.
That brings us to Kenny, who is absolutely livid and is going to chase down Farley, club raised high over their head as they are going to start trying to bring it down on Farley. Both of those are going to hit. As Farley, you are going to take a total of 18 damage and become grappled again by the Feast. I also need 2 concentration saves, both DC 10.
Ooh.
Calculating the damage. 1 sec.
That's a save. That's also a save, so you keep concentration. That is it for him, which brings us to Noman. Noman, I need another Constitution save. You have advantage, since you're partially out of the water. You are going to save this time as you come to.
Oh, that water is ungodly cold. I look around and see I'm in Elise's arms. Oh, no, that did not end it as well as I hoped.
Don't make it a habit.
It's the one who got knocked into the water. Let's get out of this water. And it's Noman like will try to climb up onto the over here. Am I able to?
Roll athletics. You have disadvantage because you're dripping wet. But Elise
Damn.
manages to stop you from sliding too far back down into the water.
Damn, slippery. Well, since I can't climb up there, I'm going to yell up at the ogre. I know he can't understand me, but I'm going to vicious mockery him.
I believe you need to see them to do that, don't you? Or is it just here?
I Vicious mockery. Creature you can see and that can hear you within
You need to
range.
be able to see. You cannot currently see them.
Oh, damn. I can't do shit.
So you're just gonna wait for Elise to pull you out?
It's not like I can try again, right?
Not on this one, no.
Yeah, so might as well just-
That is going to bring us to Timmy. Timmy is going to throw some rocks as he throws another boulder at Farley over there. He is going to miss as the rock crashes into the rock overhead, showering Farley in tiny rocks. But as we end that round for tonight, that is where I'm going to leave it because we are out of time. That was a lot of fun, you guys. I'm glad you were here for us. And for those watching, I thank you for joining us. I look forward to seeing what happens next, and I hope you do too. Have a wonderful night. Bye.